The Galactic Concord had never faced a species quite like humanity. After centuries of observation, simulations, and reluctant admiration, they still could not predict the humans' next move. The simulations had become a legend. Third, fourth, fifth iterations replayed endlessly in restricted archives. But no synthetic model, no matter how sophisticated, could replicate the chaotic ingenuity of the human mind. Humanity had grown not by conquering other species outright, but by mastering failure. Every loss was logged, every defeat analyzed, every disaster cataloged and converted into doctrine. When the humans entered interstellar conflicts, they brought a weapon no alien armada could measure, adaptability that could not be computed. Their fleets did not merely respond, they anticipated, improvised, and improvised again. The Concord's final exercise to test humanity was unlike any before. It was intended to be decisive. Alien commanders arranged fleets spanning light years, planetary defense arrays were activated, and orbital defense satellites powered up. Humanity's presence was minimal, intentionally understated. A single command vessel emerged at the edge of sensor range, silent but brimming with concentrated strategy. Analysts watching from orbit debated the humans' apparent audacity, but even they were unprepared for the scale of what would unfold. When the first salvo of attacks came, the humans did not counter immediately. Instead, they allowed several fleets to breach defensive perimeters, drawing alien forces deeper into complex nested zones. Entire systems were baited. Concord tacticians recorded patterns in horror. Humans sacrificed vessels not from recklessness, but as controlled variables, deliberately exposing them to test reaction and gather intelligence. By the end of the first cycle, half of the attacking fleets were entangled in traps they had not anticipated, and then humanity changed the rules entirely. Civilian transports entered the fray, unarmed, broadcasting false distress signals. The Concord rules of engagement forced hesitation, creating gaps in formation. From those gaps, human strike groups deployed with surgical precision, targeting command nodes and crippling coordination. Concord AI models were rendered ineffective within minutes. Observers logged their confusion. This was not victory-seeking, it was education through engagement. Humans were teaching themselves to win by first letting themselves lose under controlled conditions. Across multiple sectors, the humans maintained decentralized command. Each unit acted semi-autonomously, adjusting strategy in real time. What looked chaotic on sensors was a symphony of optimization. Analysts realized too late, the humans were no longer following doctrine. They were creating doctrine as they fought. Every engagement became a simulation, every battle a lesson. The Concord had trained to predict outcomes, but humanity was teaching the universe unpredictability. By the midpoint of the final campaign, the Concord fleets were in disarray. Entire armadas were misdirected, systems were abandoned strategically, and automated defenses fell into human-engineered traps. Yet remarkably, no human life was unnecessarily lost. Every maneuver was precise, calculated, and designed to maximize learning rather than destruction. A single observation crystallized among all analysts. Humanity had transformed war into a discipline of resilience, and no species, no matter how advanced, could match their iterative genius. The Concord had expected humans to be reckless. They had expected chaos. What they did not expect was mastery. Humanity's final gambit was subtle yet overwhelming. Simultaneous, multi-theater engagements, each governed by its own objectives, each seemingly disconnected from the others. To observers, it was pandemonium. To humans, it was curriculum. Each fleet, each strike group, each orbital command vessel was a lesson in controlled risk, autonomy, and strategic improvisation. One by one, alien fleets fell into the rhythms dictated by human foresight. Calculated retreats drew forces into carefully orchestrated choke points. Supply lines were manipulated to test logistical limits. Command structures were probed and weaknesses were recorded. Not exploited for permanent gain, but cataloged for understanding. Human fleets did not overextend, they overplanned. Every sacrifice had a purpose. Every encounter, a lecture in patience, timing, and adaptation. As the Concord scrambled to respond, they began to realize something profound. They were no longer running simulations. The humans had become the final variable in a universe that prided itself on predictability. What had begun as observation, then as simulation, then as contest, had evolved into a demonstration of the human condition. Determination, ingenuity, and adaptability had become tactical weapons. By the time the first alien admiral acknowledged it, it was already too late. The humans were several cycles ahead. A single human flagship appeared near the central nexus, unarmed yet radiating authority across sensor grids. It broadcast only one message, terse and almost casual. "We learn faster than you anticipate." That phrase became legendary within the Concord, whispered among analysts, officers, and AI constructs alike. It was not a threat. It was a declaration of inevitability. The humans did not merely adapt. They defined adaptation itself. By the campaign's conclusion, Concord records showed no single fleet annihilated, no planets destroyed, no systems permanently lost. Yet the human objectives were achieved. Knowledge, adaptability, and resilience had been tested to their absolute limits. Alien commanders, strategists, and AI now treated humanity not as an anomaly, but as a fundamental force of the galaxy. Simulation were no longer predictive. They were post-fact reflections. Humanity had rewritten the rules. When the final report circulated, it contained only 3 words in the executive summary: "Humanity cannot be predicted." Deep within the Concord archives, analysts began the first preparations for future engagements, knowing full well that their best models were now obsolete. Meanwhile, humans had already moved on, documenting lessons, optimizing strategies, and planning exercises the Concord could not even detect. They treated war not as destruction, but as growth, as knowledge, as a test of endurance and ingenuity.